Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis.
This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His
So, Magic Weekend.
Yep.
Saw the round of lots of try celebrations, money being donated for some brilliant try celebrations. A couple good ones in our game that I really liked. Obviously, Jay did the arrow for Jai Arrow.
Yeah.
Kieran with the golf swing.
Yeah.
Staple that, innit?
He said-
He's pulled that out a couple of times to golf.
He said he did it last year, and then Eckersley told him, do it with the corner post. Do it with the corner post. So then when he scored,
Eckersley passed him.
Eckersley passed him the corner post. And he did it.
I forgot he'd done that last year when he went round Dufty.
Yeah, so he just did the...
Trying to get tackled.
Like he did just did the pitching wedge last year, didn't he? But this time he was sending it miles with that corner post.
He was teeing it high, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sending it. Obviously, Eckersley, he did a little celebration for his try that wasn't given.
Yeah.
That was an old pro clubs football one, that one.
Yeah.
When you wanted to annoy your opposition.
Yeah, put your boot on somebody else's knee and they shoe shine it.
Yeah. Some good ones, plenty of other good ones from
I
across the game.
liked Brodie Croft pretending he was from Toy Story and just falling over.
Yes.
Hankinson did the... Was it Tim Cale that did the roly-poly and the gun?
Yeah.
Like what Gelling did?
Yeah,
Tim Cale or
What
Robbie
we call
Keane?
it, the Gelly.
The Gelling. Lots of Jai Arrow, bow and arrow celebrations. The best one, I think, though, was Lachlan Walmsley when he pulled an Uno card out of his sock that said +4 on it.
Well,
I just showed it to the camera.
obviously, he'd been out injured, hadn't he, Lachlan Walmsley?
Yeah.
For a while. And he had did he have the no try in the first half? And he said he only put it in the second half.
He only put it in his sock at half time, yeah.
I think he said it was because he had the no try and he thought, I said I was going to do it and I didn't, so that's why I didn't score it. So, nice to see all the celebrations. It brings something
Makes it
different to the
fun.
July.
It's a bit of character, isn't it?
It's part magic.
It's a bit of character.
Iconic celebration. There's a couple on Brian Fletcher did the grenade, didn't it? That's what Matty John showed it. The sketch. Can't beat Peggy Riddell.
Clap himself.
Going him into the stand to clap himself and stand up and clap his own try.
I mean, there's been some good ones.
Yelling with the roly-poly and the pistols.
Yeah, well, that's what Hankinson did this
Yeah.
time.
GI's Gowana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's iconic.
Blimey. Hammer.
And with the fins. Yeah, fins up.
Hammer, yeah.
We don't really get them the same in football.
No.
They do a big, elaborate routine. I like in rugby league that it's just like one guy.
Normally in rugby league, if somebody scores, you just pile on.
The bunny ears. That's why in Australia they have.
Yeah. You see that bloke from Cape Verde who scored that banger and then just immediately ran the whole length of the pitch to go and hug his
I don't
girlfriend.
think he knew what he wanted to do. He just scored it and he just ran, didn't he? So I don't know what to do.
Absolutely scream at that.
Oh, it's just all the time. So that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, should we get into this game then?
Yeah.
Obviously, Magic Weekend. 6 games on at the Hill Dickinson. Catalan and Toulouse over in France. We'll talk about that later on. It was an interesting game going into this. Both teams had a few injuries spread across. It sort of evened the playing field a little bit.
Before kick-off, yes, possibly.
Yeah.
I thought we were going into it quite even strength with the people that were missing on both sides. I thought pretty even strength.
Yeah.
I do think once the game started, both sides were had their benches depleted because there was lots of injuries in the game.
But should we just talk about the ones that we've had in this game before we get into it? Obviously, Nathan Lowe went off just before half time, about 2 minutes left before half time with a really bad hamstring injury.
He had a couple of nice touches as well. He had a bit of a shaky start and he hadn't looked most confident, but he'd grown into the game. He had a couple of really nice touches. So it was a real shame. They were dragging him over the side.
Real distressing scenes.
That was a very distressing scene. The initial injury was distressing enough, but then the follow-up to it, where they were trying to get him off, and he just... Yeah, it wasn't a good look for the game.
But
the
rugby league players.
stretcher is not Wigan's responsibility, is it?
That's rugby league players in general. They'll always want to walk off. It's very, very rare that you see a rugby league player, sit for the stretcher. So I have no doubt that Nathan Law will have wanted to walk off. Obviously, what then happened, he passed out again. Obviously shows you the severity of the situation. But he is with the right people, and hopefully we wish him a quick recovery on that front.
Yeah.
Now I should say Junior December, injured in the game.
Yeah.
He was playing at centre at this point, sort of slipped, had a minor hamstring injury, out for 4 weeks is the reported number.
Then with the sort of, like, if you're going to get a hamstring injury, you overstretch yourself and you tweak it a little bit and it's 4 weeks. Those are like the basic grade.
When I heard hamstring, I thought...
Well, hamstrings, especially this year, I feel like hamstring injuries across the league have gone through the roof.
Yeah. Speed of the game.
Yeah.
Speed of the game. Another one.
But also, I don't think... like, hamstrings go when the game start.
Yeah.
When the game stops and you cool down slightly and then you start again at full velocity. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily the speed of the game by itself. I think it's the fact that we obviously had the lengthy stoppage for Nathan's injury, which can't be helped. We had however many captain's challenges. We had a few stoppages for the blood bin. We had a couple of head knocks. We had a sim bin. We had a few tries, and so there's lots of stop start.
A lot of video ref calls.
The game had a very stop start nature.
Well, for a game that started at 5:30, it was still going just after 7:30.
Yeah,
It was over 2 hours long, which for an 80-minute game plus 10-15 minutes, it's almost 25-30 minutes longer than you would expect, really.
Yeah.
For a game of Super League.
I think there was a point in the game as well, I raised it with you when we were watching it. We had one sub, because we used to have that many injured. I remember asking, because I'm not too sure on the Villas, so does the 18th man get triggered in? We said, well, no. I think there was no head injury and there was no foul play or whatever.
I might be wrong on this. I'm certain it's 2 or 3 failed HIAs activates the 18th man, or an injury from foul play.
Just put on report.
And you can
put on report or a sim bin or a red card.
That still has to be to the head, though.
Does that have to be to the head?
Yeah, that still has to be to the head.
I get rules are rules, and I know we could do 30 minutes talk about it, so I don't want to, but when we're discussing player welfare a lot, I don't think that's a good look for a game. You're literally having to go down and asking those people to do big minutes and risking even more injuries and fatigue and whatever. I think it's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I get you not having unlimited substitutions, but I think when you've got an 18th man there, you've got 3 injuries where you've literally not got a bench and not going to come back on.
I think it's tough, mate, and I sort of disagree with you. The way the game is you go into it knowing you've got 4 subs, and we take a risk carrying Mago who doesn't do a lot of minutes, and I think that's a part of the risk that you play him.
I'm probably somewhere between you two then, because I can see the idea, like the previous week, Farrell gets injured in the first 15 minutes, he's in his tracksuit, he's not coming back on.
Yeah.
Activate the 18th man. You can then roll him.
I think for one injury, maybe not. But I think when you've only got one sub, I think and depending on the minute of the game, I think this was like 60th minute. So asking people to do.
Well, Saints didn't have any subs at the end.
That's what I mean.
So you have one sub between 2 teams.
That's what I mean. I think in those circumstances, I know it's one of those. It's very rare. It's not like it not happens every week, is it? But I don't know. But just simply to play a welfare point of view.
Yeah.
I don't.
You can say, right, Liam Farrell is not coming back on in this game. He's in his tracksuit. He's had a shower. He's not coming back on. 18th man can come onto the bench.
Would you not? See, I can just see so many loopholes.
Oh, that's the problem. Is it would get abused. Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Immediately, you'd go, the game's going different. We want our 18th man, who's an extra prop. So we're going to play a prop for 25 minutes, sub him off. Oh, he's injured. Well, he's not injured. He plays the week after.
Yeah, I don't know quite how it works, but it was a brutal game. And there were a lot of injuries. There were a lot of head tests. Most of them passed.
At one point, there was almost like a clogging up of the head injury assessment facilities. I know Havard passed both his HIAs, but a part of the rules now is if you go for 2, you stood down
for the rest of that game.
For the rest of that game, anyway.
And it was right at the end anyway.
He wanted to come back on anyway, but the point being is that he stood down for the rest of the game. I think that's in relation.
His gum shield put one on.
I think that's in relation to the Katoa situation that happened in the off season.
Yeah, it was like delayed.
He had 3 past HIAs.
Yeah.
So I think I don't mind that rule.
No, that's not bad rules.
It's a real physical game, wasn't it? So some
Yeah.
big hits, some big shots, and
Should we start with that? And literally the first 5 seconds.
The opening kick off, yeah.
Saints kick off to us. Clemmer runs pretty much straight through the back of Brad O'Neill.
Well, it more than that. Blindsides him, doesn't it?
Blindsides him. It's a cheap shot.
Very cheap shot.
And
Don't expect anything else.
do you know my first thought through this? They've had 2 really competitive games where they've gone after each other. Good Friday, they then kicked off a little bit after the game. You know, when the Saints win Good Friday. Challenge Cup semi-final, Brad went hunting for Clemmer. Really got stuck into his face. Give him a little bit after the game. Are you thinking it's one apiece? I really thought it was obviously a cheap shot, but I thought it said it's scared of him. Really,
Walmsley wouldn't do this. Matty Lees wouldn't do this. Morgan Knowles back in the day wouldn't do this.
A bit of this just went to me.
Wouldn't
It's a bit scared.
Wouldn't do a cheap shot.
You're trying to get on top easy. You know, you're trying to cheat the battle. You don't want to.
Yeah, run over him, hit him with a big tackle. Don't hit him from behind.
Yeah.
He's turning around and he's not even involved in the play. I thought he was lucky to stay on the pitch for that. I thought he could have very easily seen 10 minutes for what he did. I think I could barely see it because of the smoke. But on the replay,
I'm thinking that on TV.
honestly, you two watching on TV, I could see
Idiot's
less.
murder.
Yeah, I could see. It was like
Concourse,
I thought it was going to find the captain there, in the Benign suite, but it was ridiculous. Why would you do that every single time? Like, this is the 6th game that you've kicked off, and it looks like Omaha Beach.
You know exactly
Right.
how much smoke you need.
Yeah, it was still daylight anyway.
Whatever you've done for games 1 to 5, just do again. Like, don't overdo it.
They overdid it. It was like Omaha Beach. All the smoke in everybody's eyes, and we're trying to kick off the game. I'm glad I wasn't trying to catch it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
To go on that, this was a point that was raised to me by someone else. He actually has no excuse here, Clemmer. How many games of rugby do you reckon you've watched in your lifetime?
I
don't need a number. Have you ever seen someone run into a 9 or a 13 just reading?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
No.
So whatever excuse he's got is just stupid. And obviously, it fired Brad up. He went hunting for the next 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it just created a bit of a physical prospect of a game from minute 1, really.
Bit of tension.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see referees dragging the captains in 1 minute into a game. You know,
Not even 1 minute in, really. He had a hard job this game, Chris Kendall. I felt a bit sorry for him at times because it was very clearly boiling over. No matter who the ref was, you could have had 13 refs on the pitch. And
There was a bit of me when it got to the second, and I felt like, right, both you're both been as bad as each other.
yeah,
Pack it in and get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like you said there about the game going on for extra F or whatever it was, and it was constantly, and it's not the ref's fault, he's stopping it going, next time I'm simbering
and
somebody.
he actually did, to be fair.
And he did after that, but then they're coming
Yeah.
together, no one's really fighting, they're just grabbing each other and whatever, and I'm just thinking, come on, people have paid tickets now, it's a good game,
Yeah.
get on with it.
Well, the players
it's getting a
know
bit
now
silly.
that even the slightest movement of your head or the slightest movement of your fist is going to be however many insert X number of game ban. And there's cameras that are going to pick it up, so they don't do it anymore. And that's for the better, probably. It does lead to this toddler biff.
I was going to say,
Just charge into each other and then stand
There's
around.
a very simple solution for this. Give out bans for not punching someone.
Well,
Just say you've stopped the game, you're messing about, you're not even hitting him.
Time wasted.
Two games. Like, if you hit him, it's 1.
Just been in for
You know what I
time
mean?
wasted.
Like, at least 10 people see a bit of beef, and you.
You're right, you've punched him,
Because-
so it's a sin bin, or you've not punched him, so you were time wasting. It's a sin bin.
That's it.
no.
Stop the game.
Do you think our game needs a little bit of that back? A little bit.
It doesn't need people belting each other in the head.
Probably doesn't. I'm trying to make a joke, but
What
I know
is if you've ended up with a game of 80 minutes where Brad and Clemmer have gone after each other, and then Wellesby's come in and a couple of others have come in, I think sometimes just have it on. Both of you are gone. 10 minutes.
No one else runs in.
No one else runs in. Just have it out between yourselves. Both of you have sat down for 10 minutes.
You can't just have like bare knuckle fighting at
No.
the park and
Ice
then-
hockey rules.
You can't have ice hockey rules.
I'm not saying like
Like all the litigation about head knocks and all this, you can't then bring in a rule that allows you to hit each other in the face. if that rule's already grandfathered in, perhaps you can get away with it. But you can't.
But it wasn't. We got rid of it, and now we advertise every grand.
We did not have that as a rule.
No, we had fighting in our game. Let's be honest.
But you weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah, and you were punished for it.
Exactly.
And that's why it only happened in big games.
You can't bring it back in like that.
I just think you just end up with petulance like this. If someone just had it on and got it over and done with.
We weren't a good luck. It was just boring. It got to
Yeah,
the point
it's
there
stupid,
we weren't
isn't it?
even like the first couple of ones fired you had bloody December and Pertington smashing Dagnall out of that kid when he caught him. He absolutely buried him. And stuff like that I like. And, you know, Walmsley and Junior in the last game, he picks him up and slams him, and Walmsley comes out for him and tries to give him a seat. Like, I like stuff like that. But this just ended up like just someone bloody puts their head near the head and touches him, and he gets up and grabs him by his shirt, and he grabs him, and then people come in and break him up.
There was one that, like,
get on with the game.
I think it might have been leading to the sin bin, where O'Connor charges it back in after a kickoff, and he flattens George Delaney.
Yeah,
But simultaneously to that, Darryl Clark flattens him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's rugby league. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Young lad come charging in. He smashed into defenders, knocked him flying. Darryl Clark, clever player, veteran, got him with a good tackle. And then Delaney comes back and rubs his hand in his face, penalty, all come charging in, pushing and shoving. Like, you've ruined it now.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant moment. If he gets up and plays the ball there, and another one comes crashing in, another one comes crashing in, and you're playing wide, you're trying to score. Like that.
Rugby league's the winner.
Yeah, exactly. But if you stop it and you start putting your hand in his face and up they come charging in, it doesn't make sense to me, that.
No. Obviously, the back of that was 3 tackles later was the yellow cards from both, and it was a tackle from Brad on, was it Fafita?
I can't even remember what the yellow cards came from in the end. I just know it was very clear. If you run in, I'm going to start sin-binning people. And you could see, when you're in the ground, you could see Smith and Hastings kept going back to the team and saying, settle down, don't run it. Because you could tell, like, the ref was going to sit somebody down eventually. They come charging in, he sin-bins them both. I'm fine with that.
I do think you should do it the first time. They all came running in. Listen, there's your warning. Because he gave about 5 warnings.
I don't mind him giving all the warnings because he at least did it in the end. And it was those... Wellsby and O'Neill are bad for that.
No,
like,
I
they were always doing it.
I just think if you're saying that's the line now, let's stop running in. Just sin-bin someone next time. Just get it done. Don't let it carry on for the next 5, 6, 7 times and then go.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about some tries.
Yeah. I should say Saints opened the scoring through a penalty.
Yeah.
For a late hit on Hastings.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit of a soft one.
They were all over us, though. I was pleased they were taking the 2. They were all over us. We kept coughing up the ball. It was like... It was reminiscent of the whole game, where we just couldn't keep hold of the ball. It's like a bar of soap. And I know they were just as bad.
Well, they kept hold of the ball better than we did. They just didn't really offer that. And
they did nothing with it. Like, we'll talk about the first try in a minute, but they just offered absolutely nothing with the ball. The only time they offered anything with the ball, like in that first half, was when that Jake Davis ran that nice line back inside and they scored. And that was Havard having to make millions of tackles.
Yeah. And still crash over off a short ball.
They crashed over off a short ball, but it was at least a nice play.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, they were just trying a simple hands move, a flat move or whatever. It just didn't work. Like, the try, they've been all over us. And I'm thinking, right, it's probably going to be 8-0 here. Could be 14, could be 20, you know, with the amount of ball they had. The try comes from a really horrendous last tackle play from Saints down the right side.
Yeah.
Really horrendous play. And we end up getting a bit of a half break and then immediately playing right.
It's a really good ball from Harry.
It's a brilliant ball from Harry Smith. A really brilliant ball. And then Farriman's away.
Open space.
All he has to do is 3-on-1. All he has to do is pick the right pass to Kieran and he scores. But all that was from defence into attack. We defend a last tackle play. We make a half break. What did we say last week, or was it the week before? Transitions.
Yeah. I think you actually shouted this, Lewis. I can't remember if it was at this point or a little bit later on. Keep defending your line, and you get your reward. And this was our reward.
Yeah,
said it. So if you keep defending your line like we did in that opening bit, only took the 2 and we give 2 away, but you get a reward for it later on.
Yeah, that was a nice reward for defending your line so many times, and also good in transition.
Yeah,
good in transition. Made a break, immediately shot right. Didn't play safe with the ball. We were brave, and we scored a really, really nice try through Kieran.
Yeah,
obviously they hit back with the.
Yeah, try you just talked about.
That was quite a nice try from Jake Davis.
It was, to be fair. It was nice.
It's a nice try. He did the Daniel Sturridge celebration.
Yeah. Taylor converts it to make it 8 points to
6. Yeah, I would say. Well, they kind of split the conversion duties. I couldn't quite work out what was going on. He kicked that one, Sailor. Anyway, that was that.
It was 8-6 wanted at half time, and it was a lot of wrestling for that last 15 minutes.
That O'Connor did a brilliant one-on-one ball steal, and as the hooter went, I was like, we could have dropped a goal there. We could have had a nice chance for a play, but we just had no time.
I agree, but I want to talk about that intent in games. Since when they took the 2 at the start of that half 10 minutes in, they'd already turned down a penalty a little bit further out that they could have kicked. They'd had 3 or 4 sets on our line.
We turned down one at 8-6.
At 8-6. But my point with this was, they then took the 2 sets later, and you're a little bit like...
I don't mind that. There was an easier 2. And I don't mind turning down the first one to have 2 sets on the line to then take the second one. I don't mind that.
I don't, mate.
I don't hate that. I feel like you put a lot of tackles into their legs to defend the line, then you take the 2 points to keep the ball anyway.
Do you know what it makes me think? You've been down here and you don't fancy scoring.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if I'm Wigan, I'm going, we just defended 2 sets.
I'm a bit different to you. I don't mind that.
I don't mind taking the 2 in the first one, but I just think there you don't know how to get through us. Coming at the end here, Shea O'Connor stealing the ball in pretty much a nothing situation. Really, the half's over.
Well, I didn't know that.
They must know roughly
the time. They know exactly.
Coming towards the end of the game. But
Andy Last didn't know. Jed Carter, I thought there was 25 seconds left.
Take it a second. My point with that is that fight and that determination to just do something and be useful. It's an underrated quality. So it's a 1%er that, in this case, didn't lead to anything. It's not led to any benefit for Wigan, really. Yeah.
We should probably say, actually, that the Kieran try was when Saints were down to 12.
Yes.
And you know what? They might have stopped that if they had a fullback on the pitch who hadn't got sin binned for time wasting.
Right. It was a bit silly, wasn't it?
It was very silly. You know this is going to be a yellow card.
How long has this been a sin binning for? 4 years? 5 years?
Farrell's been sin binned for it. Adam Kieran once got sin binned for just dropping the ball over the other side of the advertising hall.
Yeah.
That is a sin bin.
And
you could see Kendall, he didn't want to give it.
But he has no choice.
But he had no choice. He was like, well, I don't really want to sin bin someone for that, but that's the rule. Like, why are you being so stupid? I feel like that was what Kendall's internal monologue was saying.
Yeah.
Why are you doing something so stupid?
Why have you done that?
If you're going to get sin binned, at least do it for a proper reason, not something stupid like that.
Like punching somebody, as we said before.
the ball was right. There was a box of balls right next to Jay Fields who could just pick up another one and start playing anyway.
Well, I do want to say,
I've seen no time.
I've seen a lot of comments of people going, but he'd already picked the ball up. I saw one saying he already had a ball on the 20, which is just a lie.
Well, you changed the rule then.
But
that's just completely changed the rule to suit Saints. That makes sense.
But also, it's just a lie. Field hadn't picked the ball up.
No.
He was turning to go and pick one up.
You can't just launch it in the crowd. Everyone knows this.
You can't just change the rules and then lie about what happened.
Yeah, you can't change rules.
Speaking of people holding on to balls, you see the kid?
Oh, yeah.
That was
heartbreaking. No, there's a Saints fan caught it off Kieran's kick.
It was a young lad, the Saints fan. A Wakefield fan.
A Wakefield fan came and stole it off him. Yeah.
And give it in.
And then he got escorted out to the ground for his own safety.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of them clips. You always see in like baseball, stuff like that, catching a hole and run ball. I've never seen anyone go, oh yeah, fair play to you. Like, you must know you're going to get so much.
And no one goes, oh yeah, well done, lad. You just bullied a kid. Well done.
I mean, you must know you're going to get a load of stick for that.
Saints the thing, yeah, they put out that they want to bring him to a training session and
Super League
stuff like
Super League gave him a ball straight away.
Yeah.
So he did get one.
They give him one and escorted the guy out and stuff.
There was a lad a little bit further down from me. He must have got one of the balls in the first game because I only arrived after about 25 minutes of the first game.
And he already had all.
He already had all the one, unless he got it from the day before. I don't know. But he was getting it signed by everyone, so he got it signed by Mike McMeekin when he was warming up. Carney signed it, Sam Tompkins, John Wilkin.
Oh, nice.
So he was getting this ball signed by loads of people. It was brilliant.
That's cool.
Can we just say, I know it's Magic Weekend, but that gimmick of them writing the thing and making a prediction in a magic hat before the game.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
That's an absolute.
So I've only seen back the actual game footage itself. I haven't watched any of the build-up or anything like that. And I could see next to Carney there was this ridiculous hat.
Yes.
And I couldn't tell what it was for. So they were writing who they thought were going to win and put it in the hat.
No, not who they were going to win. It was like a mystic prediction of something that you think basically it is like a very, very rare chance of happening.
Yeah.
So the only one that was right was Sam Tompkins in our game because
Yeah.
he predicted Wellesby would get sin-bin twice.
Really?
That happened. And
He
that was
predicted
it.
that?
He did. He put that in the hat and he pulled it out like that. And
Oh,
one of them, they just stitched Sam Tompkins like they always do because Sam pulled it out of the hat and he said Sam Tompkins player of the match. And it was like, well, they stitched up again, decided it right. And then like the whole effort, what was it?
No, the
The
Wakefield.
Catalan game, John Wilkie predicted that John Cartwright was going to come on and play prop for 20 minutes. I was just like, well, that's never going to happen, is it?
My favourite
it
one
just got stupid.
That is funny.
Wilkie got really upset because he predicted that 4 Wakefield forwards would score a try. And there was 3. And one got a double. He was like, no, that's 4.
Oh,
That's
that doesn't count.
It's
That is-
4 different
that doesn't
Wakefield
count.
forwards.
No, that
And he
doesn't
was like, it's the same thing. He
That
got
doesn't
really
count.
upset about it.
No, that doesn't count. Sorry, John Wilkin, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's fun. I mean, that's fun. I wouldn't do the stupid hat thing, but it's fun doing that.
It was,
Yeah, but just do a prediction.
Do a fun prediction, like
Just do-
a ridiculous one or a sensible one.
Predict there's going to be 2 40-20s. I don't know. Like something different that you don't normally
I don't
see.
mind that Wellesby one getting sin bin twice. That's a decent shout, that though. Not just because it came true, but because he does love a sin bin.
that's what I mean. But then, yeah, the one where John Cartwright was going to come on and play prop or something like
That's
that.
funny. That.
That's a bit silly. Isn't it?
Sam Tompkins player of the match is funny as well.
Yeah, they just stitched him up. Didn't do with his all-time Super League.
Yeah, and he put himself in
13, and he said he put himself in it when he was like, I didn't put Chris Redlinski. They were like, no, this is what you selected. Keep stitching him up.
Should we get into the second half then?
Yeah.
So started off, we got a good repeat set, good Harry Smith, good kicking behind,
Mm-hmm.
really good work from field to tackle Wellesby 1-on-1 and get him over the line. Sort of the first time that we had any real repeat sets. I think there was a stat.
So that's what repeat set was when O'Connor charged in and there was the 2 sin bins. That's where
Yeah, well, it was that, and then the 2 sin bins were once we turned the ball over
right,
from the Brad O'Neill tackle on for Fita. But I think someone was saying that just before the first half, we might have had 1 play the ball in Saints' 20.
Doesn't matter.
So it shows you the territory. It shows that Saints had a lot more of the ball, and we just hung in really well. Obviously, it was down to 12, and it's something that we're going to do pride ourselves on, being solid when there's men off the field.
Strike from deep again.
Strike from deep, good shape. Every single one of them just draws the man right.
I'm surprised there's not been a citation for the hit on Kieran after he's passed, because it's not a really nice hit. Not a very nice hit
From Dagnall
Yeah.
in this build-up.
It's not a nice hit that from someone who's just passed the ball. I think because Kieran just gets up and starts running anyway. I think that's probably why it's not looked at. But it's not really a nice one. There's no arm wrap at all.
No, especially considering people clamouring for Farriman to be banned.
Yeah.
When there's arm wrap and he hits the shoulder first.
Yeah. I mean, there was the captain's challenges. I mean, 1 or 2 of them, maybe made sense, but that one, I don't think there was clear evidence that he hit him in the head.
Mm.
The last one, it was a penalty, but you can't challenge no decision, and he'd made no decision.
Oh, is this on the hooter?
Yeah. So
I said that straight away.
you can't challenge the game being over.
Blew the whistle and he went, can we challenge and say that this is... Everyone was like...
So
They
St. Helens,
can't challenge. There's no decision.
St. Helens are challenging the decision of, and then he was like, I don't know what to say now.
Yeah.
Challenging the decision of full time.
You can't challenge the decision of full time. There's no. If he just said knock on St. Helens, you could challenge that.
Yeah.
But you can't challenge
The game
the
being
game
over.
being over. You can't. The game's over.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is. We'll talk about that in a bit. Justice was served. There was, I think there was overwhelming evidence to award Zach Eckersley's try. I want to say that.
Can we talk about both of the video ref calls?
Don't talk about Eckersley's first because we scored in between those two things happening. So we'll
talk about that one first.
Talk about Eckersley's try, then the what's that lad called who ran through the line? Whatever I can't remember his name now.
So
the Wellesby try anyway. We'll talk about that last.
Obviously, Eckersley scores. Really nice.
No, before that.
I know. I think it's important to talk about these two because they go hand in hand.
Well, first, Eckersley had one ruled out, which I think was ridiculous. So they're playing on their own line. They chuck a ball over somebody's head. Hastings drops it. He gets towed on. It hits Kieran in the chest. Quite obviously, I think, on every camera angle, it hits Kieran on the chest. Yeah. Bounces up. He passes it to Eckersley. Try. Then it went to the video ref. And, you two were listening to the video ref. I was completely in the dark on this, in the ground. But every angle I saw in the ground made it obvious it was a try. And every angle I've seen since, to be honest, has led me to believe it's a try.
I think it's really tough on a video ref because the cameras aren't great. We've talked about it many a time. If that was given as a try, it 100% remains as a try. Yeah. There is no one even thinking it's touched his arm.
Yeah.
There is one angle where it looks like it passes closely by.
Yeah, I suppose. And you can't be 100% stake your life on the fact that he doesn't touch his arm because the cameras aren't brilliant.
Well, then, and this is where my opinion goes into it. How can you ever be 100% certain then? When they do the kick to the corner and all the hands are there.
Mm.
How are you ever 100% certain it's not brushed to her or
it's
happened?
Yeah.
But at that point, then you might as well
just have no try.
Just look and go, he's competed for it.
No try.
He's playing at the ball, so let's just call it whatever. Kieran's playing at the ball, but he's trying to pull his arm away so it doesn't hit him.
It doesn't hit his arm. I'm pretty confident in saying that, but
I don't think it does.
Can you prove it?
And that's where my issue comes into this with the ruling. And
justice was slightly done because Zach Eckersley scored the second later. Now I'm in two minds about this. Because Farriman should have scored himself. One is me thinking Eckersley's just had one ruled out. Give it to him. It was unfairly ruled, but give it to him anyway. Two, Farriman's hamstring injury. Maybe he wasn't 100% on sprinting to the line and diving and that sort of thing. Maybe he was just thinking, I'll be a half, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Put the winger in.
We got a little bit of information saying that he injured himself before the game and that he had an hamstring injury before the game. Not certain how true that is. And there was, I think it was the field try where he was sprinting in the background.
Yeah, he was sprinting for the Kieran try, wasn't he? Because he set that one up.
But he was also strapped up at the same time. So I was a bit...
You don't know, do you? You never know with hamstrings.
Yeah. I don't know how much it limits you and the issue there.
Like somebody's broken his jaw and it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Or like he's broken his wrist and it's really obvious.
It's just pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I don't mind him passing. We've all seen that he can score a try.
Yeah.
Make sure try assist stats a little bit.
The only thing is, it was out wider than if the original one, which was a perfectly good try, had been given, and Kieran missed the kick. There's no guarantee he would have made the first one, but it was an easier kick, and that does have an impact on the final minutes of the game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it shouldn't, because we've talked about the captain's challenging of no decision.
Yeah,
which we're all agreeing just isn't allowed.
You can't get the challenge of no decision.
We've also talked about the fact that it was played on the screen for 3 of the 5 captain's challenges before it was made a decision whether they were challenging it.
I mean, that's just a bad rule. That's a bad rule.
That's slowing the game down massively.
And
so watching it 3 to 5 times and then going, all right, we'll challenge it, and the referee watches it another 3 to 5 times.
But what he said,
inconclusive or whatever.
What he said was, "I'll do the same for you. Like, you can watch it and then challenge it." What's the point?
Well, that's not right.
No, I don't think you should be able to watch it back and then challenge it. I think you should be you challenge it straight away or you don't challenge it at all. And I also think some of those challenges, they were inconclusive. And they were given as successful very quickly. And I don't think there were conclusive evidence on some of them. Some of them were obvious. The last one was obvious. If you were challenging something.
Yeah.
The last one, it's pretty quick when you play it in full speed, but you just tackle him after the ball's gone.
It's a funny one though, and I only thought about this the other day. But if he'd have committed, if Robertson had then, get it right, committed a professional foul on someone to stop the game, which would get himself sin-binned, like we saw with Wellesby at the Challenge Cup semi, and we've seen with Newman, they would then have been able to challenge it.
Well, so Field catches it, falls down, and then Robertson just kicks him in the ribs.
Does anything.
And he goes penalty, challenge.
Yeah, just picks him up, throws him, does whatever. He can then challenge it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about it because I don't want to encourage.
There's a lot of things with the captain's challenge that are wrong, and this
very
one,
wishy-washy.
This game really highlighted it to me. I don't think so many of those captain's challenges should have been successful. I think some of them were at the very best inconclusive and were very, very quickly given to St Helens. And I was very unhappy at the captain's challenge situation by the end of the game. And I think, credit to Red V for this, because they actually said if he'd have kicked that goal, they'd have won. They wouldn't have deserved it. Like, they didn't deserve to go to extra time. They actually said it just gave Harry Smith a chance to win the game. So they're glad it didn't go to extra time, which, is a bit tongue-in-cheek, but they didn't deserve to take that to a draw.
No.
They didn't deserve it. They'd not played well enough. They'd been given a lot by the video referee. A lot. And we'll talk about the Wellesby try in a minute. We had the rough end of the stick from that as well. And
you can't say that.
Well,
you can't say that.
Well, I can.
We can never get anything.
I can, because we did. We
get everything.
We had the rough end of the stick with the decisions, and I'll stand by that. I know that for a fact now. I've watched it again, particularly those captain challenges. They weren't conclusive. They weren't conclusive at all. And that try for Eckersley was.
Well, Kendall's from Wigan, and he gives everything to Wigan.
Kendall from Wigan gave us everything. Yeah. Where's Tom Grant from? Do you know?
I do know this.
Do you know where Tom Grant's from?
Leeds.
I'll give you a clue. He reffed the Leeds Bradford game. He's from Leeds. He had a season ticket at Leeds when he was younger. Did anyone mention the fact that the Leeds referee was reffing Leeds and Bradford? Or because it's not Wigan, it doesn't matter? Leeds are the top of the league. It should matter, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it should matter for anyone, really.
If we're talking about big teams that are top of the league, it should matter. It matters when it's Wigan. Double standards. There you go. Double standards.
Right. Two more things to mention. Just before Wellesby scores, we've got to mention the extra player on the field. Yes. So my understanding of this is Walmsley went off for a HIA about the 63rd minute, had failed his HIA, but because Saints had used the 8 subs, it couldn't be reversed back. It couldn't be made a permanent sub.
No, you have to make a permanent. To keep your replacement on the field, you have to have a sub left.
Yeah, and that means
they could have put Walmsley back on for a free sub, but they couldn't keep that lad on.
Yes. Now
I don't know at what point that ran out, because that might have run out the second Tyrone Jones ran to the pitch and dragged him off.
My understanding from what I've read is it's the moment that he fails his HIA.
Right.
Because then it doesn't matter whether there's 2 minutes left.
We don't know what time he failed his HIA, though, do we?
Well, it was reported at about the 70th minute before the try.
You never know, though, do you? You never know officially when he's failed his HIA.
Well, that means he shouldn't have been on the field.
It might have been when she ran on. That might have been time up. Got to get him off. Or it might have been time up 4 or 5 minutes earlier, and they've just not realised.
Probably realised and not realised how to get him off. Probably never happened, really.
It has never happened.
So it would be interesting to find out what the plan is next time this does happen. How do you stop the game? Does Kendall get a message? Does the ref? They've all got walkie-talkies and microphones. Does he get a message to say, you need to stop the game and bring someone off? and they stopped the game immediately at the next tackle.
I think it was a genuine mistake.
It's not Saints' fault. They
Yeah,
they did what they should.
This has happened in the academy game.
No, this was different. So this time, Saints have put somebody on for Walmsley. He's failed his head test, and you've run out of subs. You might bring him off if you knew that. You're not going to put somebody else on, but also you're not going to be like, wait, have we used all our subs? Do we have to bring somebody off now? You're not going to do that in the moment of game happening. The academy put on 4 extra subs. They just
Not with the Wigan game. In a Warrington game, I was reading the other day that this had happened, and they stopped it. And there was no tries involved or whatever. It didn't affect the outcome of the game. It was like 50-4. But they hadn't been in a situation and it then happened. I don't get how a game can't be prepared for something like this happening.
If it turns out that he was on 3 minutes longer than he should have been, that they scored a try off it, what do we do? Because they've not won the game. If they'd won the game, they'd have had those 2 points taken off them and we'd have got the 2 points. But given that they've not won, I don't think you should take 2 points off them.
I'll be honest, I doubt they would take the 2 points off Saints.
If they played with an extra man, 3 minutes and scored a try.
Because they would argue...
They'd take the points off us.
They would argue that it's the RFL's fault.
Shoe on the other foot, they'd take the points off us. I think they'd take the points off Saints for that.
I think it would be a really...
The integrity of sports at stake there.
No, definitely. I just think it then becomes a whose fault is it? Is it the medical staff? Is it the independent doctor? I
think it's the official's responsibility to keep track of the players on the pitch. But also, it was in the academy semi-final. They still booted Wigan out for that. So, I think they would have taken the 2 points off Saints had they won. If he was on for longer than he should have been. However, I don't want 2 points taken off them given that they've lost. -2 is too harsh for them. When you're on 0, -2 is too harsh for them.
Yeah. We'd be getting relegated.
If we did this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'd make up some rule that you have to send every player in your top 13 to one of the other 13 clubs in Super League. And it would be like random lot. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
If we did it.
Now,
our academy's so good. Remember, that we should just deal with that.
Yes. We can't talk about injuries.
No, we never have any.
Now, Saints do score again through Wellesby. A short ball from Hastings to Davis. Bounces off Davis's shoulder. Falls into Wellesby's arms. Wellesby goes through and scores. Now, I've got a couple of issues with this. One, I think it's a forward pass. I understand that forward passes can't be given by the video ref. It's not a knock-on.
I think it is. I think physics tells you that ball's travelled forward in relation to the ground. I know somebody behind him's picked him up, but that's because he's carried on running. I think that ball has travelled forward. Physics tells you it's travelled forward.
I do think Wellesby catches it behind where it hits him.
But look at where he catches it compared to Hastings.
But Hastings also stops running and he was running forward. But my point of being is, it's an obstruction.
Well, in theory, it's not an obstruction because he's played at the ball. He's technically now an active attacker, and Harry Smith has to try and tackle him. And
can you call that playing at the ball?
It's basically the same as catching it and offloading it at that point. So what they're saying is that he has offloaded that ball, and therefore it's not obstruction because he's had the ball. But I don't think he has.
So by that logic, then they can't give a knock on because he said he's offloaded it.
Yeah,
it's very messy. It's very lucky.
It's a very lucky try.
Do you know what I mean? It's very messy. Very lucky.
It's funny because when you follow that logic, there's no way that they can't give that try. But everyone's looking at it saying it's not a try. Kendall looked at it and said it's not a try.
He should have just said forward pass.
Yeah.
If he says forward pass, then that's it. You don't have to worry about the rest of it. But yeah, I guess the rule book says that's a try, but I'm not really happy with that being a try.
Because it's just not.
No one thinks that's a try.
The moment you say that he's an active participant, well, then it's a pass.
Yeah.
So then you can't give a knock on.
Yeah.
And you can't give forward. It's just not right.
Can't obstruction.
I wonder whether that has to come from the official on the field, he says.
Well, he said that, didn't he? Or was he just saying that to one of the players who was appealing for obstruction? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Does he have to say to the video ref, I think it's a knock on? I don't think he's made a deliberate play at the ball. You've got to prove that he has. I don't know. Should say Hastings finishes the game with an attempted kick after showing James Tarkowski how to kick goals.
Yeah.
Not his best effort.
This did have the touch of the Everton Football Club in it, I think.
Completely missing the target.
Just horrendously missing. I mean, they're missing the target and then missing the target. This was absolutely horrendous kick. The only thing I can think of is he's gone, I need to absolutely wang this as hard as I can. And he's cut right across it, and he's made a real pig's ear of it. I'm glad he did, because justice was served.
Like you said, they didn't lose the game because he missed that kick off the game because they weren't good enough to win it for across the 80 minutes. You know, people look at that, but they didn't really deserve to be in that position, like you're saying there. I've seen a lot of St Helens fans say that, like, we didn't deserve to win because our attack was so poor, and we let Wigan off easily, and you know, Wigan had Ollie Partington in the centres and Junior December and Shea O'Connor at one point in the centres, and we didn't do anything with the ball we had. Well, and I think I say to that, yeah, fair play.
The head coach has a different opinion.
He does.
He thinks that Chris Kendall, the Wigan man, has cost them the game. At least he didn't blame the wind this time. I think maybe, have you seen the seats were too blue, or the kit was too blue? Maybe the kit was blue and the seats were blue. That was blending in. They were already on a pitch that had 5 games on it, so that's bound to be slippery for Saints only. What other excuses could he have said? The posts were set up well too far left for that last kick. Well too far left. They should have been set up in the corner where Hastings was aiming.
Yes.
What else? What other excuses could he have said? It was a Sunday. How can you expect to win on a Sunday?
It's a day of rest.
It's a day of rest. So you gave the attack a day off.
Yeah.
What a stupid comment. The ref's fault role is striking again.
But
and striking again.
Do you know what made me laugh most?
Like being he's got his cap for his back. Start crying.
Yeah.
Start crying, Rolly.
Wait, crying?
Still love that interview. He turned around and said, "Yeah, I got that wrong."
He did get it wrong, and actually he did get it wrong. But if he said it this time, he wouldn't be wrong.
No, he'd actually be right.
He'd actually be right this time. Because Peters wasn't crying that time. He just thought he was. This time, Rolly is actually crying.
Yeah, I love the moment that he's complained about, though, specifically about the refs, was a penalty on Clark.
Yeah,
that he thought was a penalty, and you can clearly see him go and point to signal 2, and the ref just then give the play on.
Yeah,
and
because the tampon floats his nose.
Yeah,
basically, and Hastings put an awful end of set kicking.
One thing about Rolly as well, you know that saying, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Yeah.
Well, if it looks like Salford,
plays like Salford,
and it plays like Salford, and the excuse book is a bit like Salford's, you might win as much as Salford. Yeah.
The only thing that ever helped him at Salford was that he didn't have to use the excuses all the time, because if you lost to Wigan or Leeds or whatever, no one expected you to win. It's just ridiculous, and I think I said to you, Lewis, could you imagine what Sean Wayne would have said after this?
It's not even that. Like I would have been upset with Rolly even before that messaging he said, because you've gone into a game. Okay, maybe it's about even strength with the injuries pre-game, but then you see Junior December go off, having played centre. You see the backline shuffle 3 times. You've got Shea O'Connor, you've got Partington in the centres. You've had all this decent ball. You've been given 4 or 5 successful captain challenges. You've been given a dodgy try. Your opponents have had one ruled out. Like, what more do you want? Get some attacking shape. Get some proper width about your team. Get playing at some pace, flat and fast, and get some tries scored.
Poor comments, aren't they? And maybe, I know it's straight after the game. You just lost a derby. Emotions are high. You know, if you interviewed him a couple of days after, he might not have said that, maybe. But it's a poor comment. It's a very poor comment.
But also with that, he wasn't annoyed. He wasn't angry. We've been through. He named one decision where he didn't get a penalty that he thought he should have had. Like,
we could all do that.
Like, Harry Robertson's, we're all aware that Harry Robertson's a great attacking talent. It's like just chucking the ball and get hope something happens.
Yeah.
Same with Nene McDonald on the other side. Well, you might get a little bit more.
He's the danger man, but really, just chucking in the ball and
he made one break
and seeing what happens. You had a Wellesby made a break where he got on the outside of somebody, probably Partington out of position, I think, and Field tackled him because there was no support. You had a break for Hastings where Field tackled him because he had no support. We made a break, three breaks actually, support every time.
Like the Nene one, he made a break from his 20-metre line. Field tackled him at 40.
Yeah.
Again, then got into halfway.
Yeah, but there's nobody to support and there's nobody on his shoulder.
And that's the problem with...
That's the problem. And I would have been furious had we dished up that performance against, let's say they end up with George Delaney at centre and we don't make the most of that and they've had 3 reshuffles and we get all those captain challenges. You see what I mean? If I'd have been on the other end of that, I'd have gone away from that game thinking, we have missed a huge opportunity. That game should have been an absolute
I know what
cake.
I want Matty Pete to say.
That
weren't good enough.
Start chucking stuff. Yeah.
That weren't good enough. We got it wrong. We have fixed it this week.
We've messed up though. We should have got the 2 points.
Yeah.
Saints should have got that 2 points with all that went for them in that game. The fact that we did, brilliant for us. Brilliant performance. One of the best derby wins I think I've ever seen. Backs against the wall. Really, really, really good performance. But if I'm thinking about the other side of the coin now, I'm worrying if I'm a Saints fan.
Oh, big time.
I'm really, really worried because they had so many chances to win that game and came up with absolutely nothing with their attacking brilliance, so called.
And they've not. It's not like they're missing the 1, 6, and 7. I know Lomax is missing, but their actual 7 is
Jackson Hastings.
It's Hastings. I know he's
Well,
winning
the spine was back together this time, wasn't it, with Clark?
and you've got strike centres.
Oh yeah,
You've got Nene and Robertson.
Yeah.
You've got a pack that can get you good field position. Like, there's no excuse there. But a good win. And a good 2 points.
An awesome win. Yeah. Really, really brilliant win. It's really brilliant 2 points.
I think we mentioned on the podcast last week after we heard about the Thompson injury and the Farrell injury that the next 4 games, Saints, Wire, Huddersfield and Saints again.
Yeah. And you can throw Lee in if you want because they're playing really well.
Yeah. Well, let's throw Lee in to make it 5.
They're all in July.
But I'd take 3 from 5 and 4 from 5 would be brilliant. Though.
Yeah.
We've done the first job of that. We've got the first one. We're 1 from 1.
And again, it's a bit like last week. We didn't burgle it so much this time, but they should have beaten us really.
Yes.
With all that went in their favour and went against them, they should have beaten us.
Yeah. Big time.
Scoring 1 try in the first half. And we get 1 try
with the field position.
Yeah, with the field position they had.
Yeah. I do want to say I want to praise our young pack before we end this section. Because that was a young pack. Ethan Havard and Cade Ellis.
Have we ever had a younger bench? Mason.
Maybe in a cup game in an early round.
Second game. O'Connor, second game.
Kerr. I can think of that old KR game when we sent him off.
Yeah. Kerr's not got the 10 games yet, I bet.
But I just want to give some real praise. I thought Keane McDermott defended really, really well.
He was asked to do a lot, wasn't he?
Stood up, played big minutes. I thought Lucas Mason, when he came on at centre, difficult job. Did it well.
Yeah.
Taylor Kerr basically played 13 for about 50 minutes.
Kerr is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
He's a really, really good player.
Yeah. And then going even further than that, Che O'Connor.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I like the look of him.
You're not worried about putting him in, are you?
No, big, strong, aggressive.
Yeah, and I'm going to say what we say all the time. We have to be careful now.
Yeah, especially the forwards.
And get through the next 2 years and hope he hasn't played 40 games in 2.5 years' time. He's only 18. If he's turning 20 and he's played 40 games, it's probably a touch too many. Yeah. If we can get him there playing 25, would be brilliant. But they all just stood up and the celebrations at the end. That young pack out enthused Saints. They outworked them and outwanted it. Is what.
And that's a pack that had. I know Delaney's a young lad, really, when you think about it in terms of his career, but he's a lot further on than them.
Yeah, more experience, isn't it?
And you've got Walmsley, you've got that Fafita, Shane Wright,
Clemmer,
Walmsley,
Joe Shorrocks.
Exactly. These are seasoned Super League pros that have been around the block.
Played last second row for them.
Davies, wasn't it?
Davies, Davies is a bit of a younger lad.
But again,
It's a good feeling when it's tough.
But again, then if you were to say one of the forwards aimed up, apart from Darryl Clark, who always does, and he is a danger every time he gets the ball, you'd say probably Jake Davis probably covered himself in the most glory.
Yeah.
I thought Walmsley did what I expected from him.
Walmsley did his job.
But we know the situation with Walmsley.
He had no support, did he?
And
None of his other props did anything. That Fafita, he didn't impress me very much.
I might be a bit harsh with this, but he turns to a donkey anyway. It's like, I don't know, maybe every time I watch a game, I see him knock on at least once, if not a couple times a game.
Do you know what makes me?
I know he takes a lot of carries, so
he will, yeah.
More, but every time I see him, he just like gets up, play the ball, and he just completely spills it. It's not even like we've got a good tackle and there's nothing he can do. Is it grabbing the ball and he spills it? It's just proper like donkey knock-ons where you just think you just got to keep holding it there.
I'm of the opinion now that he's where Chris Hill was when he went to Huddersfield, when he went to Salford, and he did his spell at Warrington, was at his best, and then probably should have dropped down a little bit.
I mean, there's rumours he's going to go around again for St Helens next year.
We watched this game all together. You're always telling me it was the best shout you've ever said to one of our mates who was watching it with us supported stage. You looked at the eye, you said Alex Morgan should have been at Cast 2 years ago. It was the best shout you've ever said.
It's a good shout. I wish I heard that. Well, I was.
You should have been at Cast.
I was there, and actually, I was there with people I used to go to the game with. But at the end of the Castleford Wakefield game, I walked around I did a full lap of the stadium basically, because you can't go. The side where the cameras are?
Yeah.
You can't go across that stand because it's hospitality in the middle. Right. So you have to go 3 sides of it, round to the other side where some mates from mine were. And one of them is a Saints fan. And he said to me a while ago, I said, this was after the England game at Hill Dickinson. He'd taken his dad. His dad doesn't really watch rugby league, he's a rugby union fan, his dad. And he'd taken him, and his dad goes, he's a big fella there, that's up. And it was Walmsley.
Right.
And he said about me, he went, he plays for Saints. Dad, watch this. He's going to come onto the pitch in a minute. He's going to do a big barnstorming run, knock them all flying, and then he's going to drop the ball with his butterfingers. And then he's going to be goosed. And that was exactly what happened. And he called it. And it happened in this game as well.
Do you know what? If he was a club aiming for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and doing 10 minutes off the bench as an impact prop, I think that's his right job. I should say there are lower table teams available other than Castleford.
You could go and
he could get York.
He could refer to it. Do you know what? When they had him and Thompson, that was a bloody fearsome.
He's a big good player. Even after that, he's been a great player for them.
They were a freaking nightmare for him.
He could go and knock Fenton Rodgers to the bench for Huddersfield, you'd think.
Yeah, you'd think. I will say, but it's about teams as well. Back then, when he was at his best with Thompson, they were coming off 2 very, very good carries from their outside backs, and Walmsley was coming to tackle 3, 4, and getting you to the halfway line. He's now trying to carry a pack, and he's 4 years older than what he was. It's a nightmare job for any prop, really.
Yeah,
I think that wraps it up.
Yeah,
I do want to say, so I want to add, Ollie Partington was phenomenal again,
as always.
Even when he ended up at centre. Zach Eckersley is an absolute gun athlete, whatever you want to call him.
Thoroughbred.
Yeah, I'm loving the nickname Young Zeus.
Young Zeus.
That's sticking for me.
Why? Because his name's Z-E.
Yes,
I like that.
But 17 carries and averaging 10 metres a carry.
Young Zeus.
Yeah,
like him like the Thunderbolt. Yeah, I like that a lot.
But he just looks like a specimen, doesn't he? Like strong, and Kieran Wardle doing great carries again. It helped out a really young pack.
Yeah, I don't think Kieran had his best game, but he still scored a great try and set one up that was unfairly ruled out for.
And still carried for 100 yards.
That try for Eckersley, the one that was given, very reminiscent of the try from the Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, nice run move.
Yeah, this time Farriman obviously gives it.
But he could score himself anyway.
Yeah. It's just a different threat, isn't it?
Nice move.
I like it. I like just keep dropping them in every so often. Yeah.
Young Zeus is a good name, but Zeus has a lot of kids. Like you could name him after one of them. You know, Hercules. He had red hair in the film. Big, strong lad.
Not Zaka, because there's going to be the top one. He's going to be the guy.
Well, yeah. Zeus was the youngest as well. You got to remember that.
He's the one in it.
Yeah.
Right, I think that wraps up that section. We'll come back in a moment and we'll go around the Hill Dickinson. So, time to talk about the other games in the Magic Weekend. Starting off on Saturday, there was 4 games. First one, you always, start these events with a big game, don't you? York, Huddersfield.
Yeah. That's a 4-pointer.
Well, York won this game 36-24. All 7 Huddersfield fans booed them off. They're now 6 points at the bottom.
Back-to-back wins for York.
Yeah, well, in York, you got 72 pumped on them and then just won 2 back-to-back games.
So I'd say the positives.
Sorry,
that is positive.
Stop talking about York. Huddersfield.
Do you want to talk about York at some point?
We can.
Go on, let's split Huddersfield.
They have now further behind on points of the teams joint 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th than points they've got this season. Yeah. They've got 4 points this season.
Yeah, and we give them 2 of them.
And we give them
How
2
depressing is that?
And we give them 2 of them. And they got them in back-to-back weeks.
Yes. When Liam Finn was coach.
Yeah. You know when they show on different apps, they show like form. Mine that I use for all my sports shows the last 10 fixtures.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen them all red for any team in any sport.
Yeah.
Not even a draw, not even like a scrappy win. In the last 10, they've lost the last 10. And in this game, let's be honest, they
didn't look like winning.
They look like they could have played for 2 years and not won that game. They scored 2 tries in the last 5 minutes.
Just another day at the office.
They were 36-12 down with 5 minutes to go.
Need Ian Watson's toasty warm ears back.
What is Ian Watson doing these days?
He's assistant to
care.
Is it?
Yeah.
Him and that girl. Interesting.
He doesn't wear his hat anymore. Last time I've seen him.
He's just decided he's bald.
I've not seen him tucking his ears into his cap. So
Yeah,
his ears up.
love tucking
Who was
his
the
ears
other one who
up.
tucked his ears in?
Rowan Smith. No, not Rowan Smith. Rowan Smith always wore a cap, but he didn't tuck his ears in.
And Thingy wore the bucket hat.
Lingard.
Lingard.
Yeah.
Bucket hat, no shoes.
Birthing. Well, let's talk about York. You said another day at the office.
Yeah.
He bags another try. Benison.
Benison did the robot when he scored. The first try of the Magic Weekend, Benison did the robot.
That might be the biggest
Respect.
pressure in Super
I rate
League
that,
now.
you know.
Yeah, respect.
I rate that. You scored the first try, you're not guaranteed to win. It could be a Daryl Alford situation. You've got the pressure there. You have to do something for charity. You've taken the lead. What are you going to do? Robotics. I like that as an option. Robotics is a good option. Because
safe bet. Just everyone knows what you're doing.
But it
Everyone knows
takes-
it's a classic celebration.
And it takes robotics off the table from everybody else.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. That's my celebration for today. Love it.
Right. Do you reckon there's a bit of that, in the celebrations? You saw someone do something, I can't do that now.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe someone else had a new
I'd
no
love
card.
to know all the front rows who had a celebration lined up that never got to use it. And
I
what
wonder
they
if you
would
do talk. You must have talk about it to your
Yeah.
teammates if you score this weekend. What you're doing.
I'd like to see every club go through 1 to 13 or whoever was playing, all the front
social
rows.
media.
What celebration would you have done if you'd have scored?
Yeah.
And,
Now that the weekend's over.
Yeah.
put it on the
and we'll do
marketing
some.
team, put it
We'll
on
do
social
some
media.
sort of. Everyone didn't score. You can do this. Like Shea O'Connor. What celebration were you going to do?
What would you bust do?
I know what he'd do. Guthrie.
You do the
No.
Not Guthrie.
No. I'd give it the full kid riding on the boat.
Oh, the
I'm
aura
swaying.
farming. I think I'd go lawnmower. Try and yank the chain a few times and then push the lawnmower across the try line.
I like it.
I think I'd do that.
I go sprinkler.
Oh, sprinkler, yeah. Good sprinklers.
Just
Yeah.
hit the try, hit the sprinkler.
But for any of them three options, you kind of have to be in the lead. Those are not consolation try options.
That, the aura farming one that I was on about,
Yeah.
Nick Meaney did it last year and they lost. He scored with 10 minutes left to put them in front and they lost.
I think it's fine if you're putting them in front. I think if it's a consolation, you've got to play it safe. You've got to do something sensible.
Mm.
You've got to do the
reasonable celebration.
robotics. Might be a bit much.
Respect. Love the robotics.
Either of you two, anything else for this game?
Um,
Really good from York.
I'm pleased for York. Yeah, York deserved it.
I think there was a bit of pressure on York here. Obviously, if Huddersfield win,
Well,
Huddersfield will go to 6 and York will be on 8.
do you want to talk about IMG now? Because Huddersfield have said today that they've got some new advertising boards or whatever that's going to bump up their IMG score so that they're safely in next year. Safely in Super League next year.
But they're not at that stadium?
No, they're going to be apparently. I don't know. Whatever. London are now not definitely going up, even though they signed all these players.
Do you think that's one of them? You're not definitely coming up. Wink, wink. We can't say that you're definitely coming
I
up.
don't know. The thinking is that somebody's going down that's not Huddersfield. And I just think, how can that be? How can you justify sending somebody else down? They've been there all that time. They've done absolutely nothing.
There's been a few things in rugby league that have wound me up. If that happened, I generally think I would be involved in a protest.
Just looking at the table after this one, thinking obviously they're both near the bottom now. A lot of teams on 10 points. Hull, Toulouse, York and Bradford all sitting on 10.
It's kind of what we said was going to happen when these new teams came in. They were going to find ways to beat each other. And they were probably...
Everyone beat York. Everyone beat Huddersfield.
Well, we didn't think that. We thought Huddersfield was going to be involved in that sort of mini league where they were all beating each other and no one got away from it, but no one was cut adrift. That's what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
That has happened, except Huddersfield have been cut adrift. And they haven't got wins against those other teams. That's the difference so far.
It's just awful. Well, honestly, I love watching.
Huddersfield.
I love watching rugby league.
Oh, yeah.
I've stopped wanting to watch games involving them.
Well, I liked it, but York are interesting. They're an interesting side.
Everyone else, all of the 13 teams,
Oh, right, yeah.
whatever game has got Huddersfield in, I don't want to watch.
Mm.
And that sounds awful, but
Well, you and the population of Huddersfield don't want to watch
barring
it.
7 people.
They don't want to watch either.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
It's not on. Good win for York. I think that's important to
Yep.
reiterate.
Give them some credit. Back-to-back wins.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get made in this season. Obviously, they're going to struggle, so they've got to celebrate times like this now.
You know what? I want to give them some credit from, obviously, they were 14-6 up at half-time.
Mm.
Huddersfield scored first. You could think a bit of, they're back in it now. Huddersfield are going to start playing. But they then scored 3 tries in 10 minutes from the 50th to the 60th. Got another one to seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that shows a little bit of heart, a little bit of fight, have the adversity of conceding early in the second half and, you know what, they fought back.
Mm.
Next game, the Hull derby.
Yeah.
KR win 26 points to 12. They were winning 12-4 at half time.
Yeah.
FC did well to get it back to 12 apiece.
This had one big crucial moment for me, and unfortunately, again, it was down to a captain's challenge.
Yeah.
They've got a scrum, Hull KR, due to a mistake. Hull FC pushing the scrum, made a bit of a mess of it.
Mm.
They tackled Jeslett and he drops the ball. Ref gives knock on. Hull KR challenge and say that there's been a high tackle on Jeslett. I don't know if there was a high tackle on Jeslett. I don't know if he knocked on. We never even got that far in the challenge. Because before that had even happened, both teams broke from the scrum too early. So it was decided they were going to repack the scrum.
Oh, come on.
Now, I would suggest that if you concede a try from a scrum, you just challenge it anyway and say maybe they broke early from the scrum. Let's see.
What happens if the defensive team breaks?
Then
And
it
obviously
would
the attacking
be-
team scores, but
Then
they
it
still
would be
be
a penalty, I guess.
a penalty, or would it be a reset? Because at this point,
If the defensive team breaks early, that's a
you,
penalty for offside.
but you might as well say, even if the opposition score,
Yeah.
because you might as well say,
We'll give you
just
2 points.
We'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
break it every scrum early, and if you score, we'll challenge
Well,
you.
but
Just
you
give you a
can
penalty.
play advantage for offside, can't you?
Yeah.
So if they score anyway.
But it's just ridiculous, stupid. Just
There was one in Origin this morning I've seen on the replay. Most obvious 2-on-1 ball steal you'll ever see. Ref waves play on, gets tackled, next play they score. Can't challenge it, can you?
No.
Ball's not, it's not, the game's not stopped.
big 2 points for KR, I should say.
Huge 2 points.
Obviously, it's running into a bit of a difficult run for them over the next few weeks. And obviously, they've got to make that game up as well.
Yeah, 3 games in 10 days that Hull KR have got that nobody else has ever had to do in the history of rugby league. That's really unfair.
Yeah.
Apart from
When we did it.
when we did it.
But that was fine.
It was fine then, yeah.
Carrying on Saturday. Lee beat Warrington.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was a bit of a statement, really.
Mm.
I know it's 24-6 and you can say the scoreboard's not really run away from them. But Lee should have got more.
Yeah.
Lee deserved a lot more.
Yeah.
And the
What
Lions
game
scored
Burnley? Burnham in the house. Support his
it
beloved
was,
Leopards.
Put Rugby League on the map.
Yeah.
Love that.
And against Lindsay Hoyle's Warrington Wolves.
Yeah.
Or Warrington Warriors as the
Future
BBC
PM
homepage.
and
put
the
on. Speaker.
Speaker of the House.
Yeah, they put Warrington Warriors on the BBC homepage.
Nice.
Andy Burnham is watching his favourite team, Lee Leopards, against Warrington Warriors at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Not quite. Not quite.
Lee looking good though, getting back to, now they've got some bodies back. Obviously, Wyeth's missing a few. Irwin was at full-back for him when obviously he's not a natural full-back, so really tough.
You know what impressed me with the game for Lee was the halves.
Yeah.
In particular, Adam Cook. I know you're a big fan of the GC. You said he was going to come good.
Yeah.
He played really well in this game.
I thought Armstrong had a good game at full-back for him as well. The spine was doing well.
The spine did well, yeah.
When they all click and they're good. Hanley's looking really good at centre, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wilkin come out with a big statement. If you heard
Yeah,
this.
I did hear that, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm not
he's best centre in the comp.
I mean, he is one of the best.
And so
I
he
can
should
make big statements and be wrong as well.
And he said
It's his job.
should be playing for England.
That's his job to make statements like that and get people.
I thought you went full Roy Keane.
I was going full Rocky. That's his job to make statements like that to get people like us talking, and people just sat around at the pub, which is basically what we're pretending to do now, and chat about rugby. Like that's exactly what his job is. And yes, the clip he used to highlight it was Adam Cook bringing a gorgeous ball to get him through untouched.
Yeah.
But Hanley, he's been playing really, really well, and he deserves at least a shout out. Maybe not the best centre in the league. Well, not maybe not, but he deserves a shout out for playing well.
What I will say about shouts of best in the league and this is why I think a little bit of pressure's come off Mikey Lewis, is he's gone and won something now. Hanley has won a Challenge Cup, but he wasn't the same sort of centre that he is now. Or I talk about Ash Hanley being one of the best centres in the league. I think you just need to win something with your team and have a big game in a big final before you can really start that conversation. Best in the league. I think it's really difficult to discuss that when you're not winning major trophies.
Yeah, I think it's just a good. Yeah, I get what you mean. I don't mind a comment like this. It's a lot of opinion, and whether you think it's right, whether you think it's wrong. I'm just glad we've got an English centre who's in a bit good bit of form.
Yeah,
I'm glad we've got options in case any injury should happen or whatever like that. We've got a centre who's in good form. He's exciting. He's athletic. He's quick. He's powerful. So yeah, I'm all fine.
It's handy. Warrington, what do we make of Warrington? I get the injuries.
We're getting quite a few back for this week's game.
Yeah. I think one of the things I think Sam will be happy about is even with the injuries and stuff now, like even this game, I know you're saying it should have been more, but it wasn't. 24-6, and not like in games where they're getting battered 40 odd points to 10 or whatever, you know what I mean? They're not letting the scoreline get that far away from them, which I think is an impressive sign that they're sticking in games and being resilient. He's probably going to be saying to the lads, look, when we get a couple back, you know, it'll come good for us. We're sticking in games. The attitude and the effort is there. We're just doing it hard at the minute.
Definitely. I just think when you struggle like that, you should really do a 2 points somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, a game you don't deserve. It takes a lot of pressure off you when you're down and troops are low.
Yeah.
Right. So good win for them three, for York, KR and Lee. There was another game on Saturday over in France.
Yeah.
Toulouse beat Catalan.
Toulouse put the boots to Catalan. 60
points to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Matty, me and you watched this in the cricket club.
We did.
After our games.
Yeah.
And I think, I can't remember if you said it to me. They started well.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Catalan started. Catalan started well.
I know at 20 minutes, Catalans were ahead.
They took the lead.
But
this started off, as I know you're talking to. I drove back from our game, and had the radio commentary for the whole derby on. So when I got back to after your game, we then had missed kind of the Liam Warrington, so we had to catch that one up. But we could watch this one, and it started off as like arm wrestle, shot for shot kind of, and Catalan fought their way into the game, took the lead, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. You know when they got those back-to-back tries? Here we go now, Catalan are going to...
I thought Toulouse were going to fall away. We know they're not great starters.
Yeah.
But they went in ahead. They went in at half-time ahead, 32-12. They only got even in the 28th minute.
It's got scoring. Hans, the 9 for Toulouse, he was impressive. Ashol Bot, every time Toulouse play well, he plays well.
Yeah. Do you know what I've noticed about Ashol Bot that I really like, that he's added to his game in the last few weeks? Well, probably the last 5 or 6 weeks. Remember us talking about Dufty taking the tackle before the kick?
Yeah.
And getting a really quick play of the ball and poking his head through because they're a bit pinballing, hard to tackle. He started doing that for Toulouse, and Toulouse are getting a bit of better field position from the kicks.
Yeah.
Just off the back of it. I just think things like that are so undervalued and possibly go amiss.
Yeah.
But that's making him an even better fullback.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'll watch out for that next time, Toulouse.
60 points to 18. What do we say about Catalans?
They gave up. Some of the efforts for the tries from Toulouse, like some of the defensive efforts, were worrying because the Toulouse players, I think, weren't even expecting to get through sometimes, and all of a sudden there was a try line available to score, and it felt like Catalan maybe giving up on the second half.
Yeah, I think we've chatted about it all season, haven't we, about consistency. But I think the club needs some consistency, doesn't it? Since McNamara's gone, they had Tompkins in for a bit. He went, no, they've got Cartwright in
between that, for 4 weeks, it was McLaurin and Pierce.
Yeah.
Probably the best they've looked.
I know, it's a bit like, like trying to actually build even, think about, right, what is the vision of this club? Where is it going here? What are we doing?
Do you guys know whether Cartwright's been announced permanently, or is it just the end of the
season?
I
think as far as
just the end of the season.
Which I mean, again, is what are these like?
Paper over and crack that.
Yeah, like you've got to have a long-term vision for the club to buy in, and then the coach to get the players he wants, and got a philosophy and an identity in there. And at the minute,
they've given up on this year.
Yeah, it's just like, we'll just try and get through the year. We'll see where we are. We'll see if this coach is staying or not. We don't know what play like, but how can you get play if you're a player? How can you get behind that?
Well, he might get sacked again.
Do you know what? Do you know what stands out for me? Talking about Catalans and the team and players giving up. And I love this guy. I think he's a great signing for them, but not under the circumstances. Toby Sexton. Signed for Perth. For a year. And he's coming for a year till he goes to Perth. You can't tell me when the troops are down, he's going to...
He has good games, but then he also has games where he just doesn't even put a shift in. And can you blame him for that?
But you're already thinking about next year. I find it bad enough when a player who's been at a club a few years has announced his next year. I think, oh, well, you're always worried they've got the foot out the door. He's never got in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about players leaving, and I think Dodd's rumoured, and a couple of others.
The Costa's going.
The Costa's going. And I just...
There's an old guard feeling to that pack as well.
Mm.
Like, you look at their pack, and they have been around a long time.
Yeah, Garcia, Busquets,
Yeah.
Navarrete.
Like, there's some cockatrices in that pack, isn't there?
I'm actually just looking at it, and you're going like, Garcia.
Yeah.
Navarrete's been around a long time. Chris Satai on the bench, Busquets on the bench.
Like, these are players who've been around for 10 plus years in Super League, more even for some of them.
And on the other side, you've got like that Lipowski from...
Lipowitz.
Lipowitz, sorry. Lugia, then Condon are almost like less than 30 game players.
Mm.
Yeah.
But one end you've got blokes who have played 300 Super League games. And you've got no one in that 150. I'm ready to step up and be the guy.
Mm. Yeah.
Really good win for Toulouse.
Yeah.
Should add to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
2 games on Sunday to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And
Boring.
I want to start on something else rather than the games themselves.
My experience of the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
We'll come on to that later. We played Saints again. Warrington played Lee.
Yeah.
Who I know there's a bit of a gap between in the league, but coming good.
I know where you're going with this. Leeds played Bradford, who were out of the playoffs. OKR played Hull, who were out of the playoffs. Wakefield played Cass, who were out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who else is in the playoffs? Wigan and Saints play each other.
Yeah. Lee and Warrington played each other,
Yeah, but what Lear is out of the playoffs?
but are probably the 14th.
Yeah.
And York and Huddersfield are done.
Yeah. So that one actually did make sense. But someone wrote down actually what the games would have been like had you gone with the old system of 1 plays 3, 2 plays 4, 5 plays 6, and we would have got Leeds. So you're thinking there, well, that might actually be the only one that's harder. But every single year, Wigan have played at Magic Weekend a team that has gone on to make the playoffs. We're the only club to do that. And it's an extra game.
Yeah.
Again, a mate of mine said, is this a home game for Wigan or Saints? I said, neither. It's an extra game.
Yeah.
Our extra game is against St Helens.
I saw a suggestion.
What we should have done, we should just pretend now, we just pretend Saints aren't our rivals and Huddersfield are.
Yeah.
Come on, we really hate Huddersfield. We always have. That's the true derby. Because we get to play them on Good Friday when it's a tough Easter period, and we get to play them on Magic Weekend as our extra game.
I don't get the point of getting rid of all the fixtures and then keeping this. And I know it would require 6 teams to give up a home fixture. But
We're just taking turns.
just taking turns. But also, I'm going to say on the other side of that, I did see a suggestion of saying the fixture should only come out the week before.
No.
And someone was trying to say it should be 1v2,
No.
3v4.
Because then the top 2 are disadvantaged, because 3 plays against 4. No, that's not right.
But you're playing teams around you then.
That's not right, though. That's not right, because that's a disadvantage. Well, as it is currently.
But again, there's other problems with that because you won't even know. You're just playing on what day and
Yeah.
all the different stuff.
It is something to look at, though. Loop fixtures are unfair. And the whole point of...
So what would you do then? Just pick out a round, make it magic, and the teams give up a home fixture and alternate?
I'd do 2 rivals rounds, one on Good Friday.
Yeah.
And one anytime
Magic?
about now, and it'd be Magic Weekend. Wigan this year were away on Good Friday. And so their home game against St Helens would be Magic Weekend. Now, the problem there is that's Wigan's best-selling home fixture.
Yeah.
That's why you can't do it.
Can I go back to another shout that there was? And I'm going back a little bit. I talk about the last 16 of the Challenge Cup being...
Oh, sorry. So you're saying so it's still rivals playing each other, but it's not an extra game.
Yeah.
It's just a normal game in the calendar
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Because there was the call of making the last 16 of the Challenge Cup Magic.
Yeah, you could do that, but you wouldn't have as big of an attendance, I don't think.
No, you'd
Last
have 4
16
games on.
Last 16 is, 8 games?
Yeah, you'd have 4 on each day.
I
You'd
suppose-
also have 4 championship teams in there.
I suppose you could do that, but you couldn't book your tickets. I mean, you could, I suppose.
You can do it along the...
You could hedge your bets. You'd have to do the first 2 rounds of the Cup dead early,
Maybe,
and then have a
the
gap.
full season, basically.
And then have a gap.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to do for last 32, which is what they do now before the season starts, and then, like, week 3, last 16, and then do Magic Weekend end of April.
Yeah, round Easter time.
Squeeze the
Saturdays.
quarterfinals and semi-finals in, play the final end of May, something like that.
But it doesn't work, this system. Let's be
No,
honest.
it's a loop fixture in it. So.
Right. Wakey, Cass, 48 points to 6. The man who I felt more sorry for, Ryan Carr, you see his interview after the game?
Yeah.
He just looked like a beaten man. Like, what do you say, Cass?
Just too easy, wasn't it? It was just so easy for Wakefield. A team that's done well this year and has got an incredibly easy extra fixture that Castleford just decided not to turn up for. I think it will probably be a disappointment to Wakefield slightly and their supporters that it was so easy. It's nice at the start, isn't it? But then when it starts to get like...
It just becomes celebration time, really.
Here's another try.
A lot of people, I don't probably get back on this game, but I think I love Magic Weekend. I think it's a really good thing. I think it's something we can market the game around. It's a good weekend event. I love the fact, obviously, I didn't go around, obviously talk about your experience, Matthew, going to the new stadium, Hill Dickinson. But a lot of people are criticising the fact that it's a shame there's been so many blowout scores and very not competitive games. We've got this one, we've got the game I'm going to talk about next, Leeds and Bradford. Although it wasn't at the Hill Dickinson, it was a rivals round. The French derby was a blowout. The whole derby was really like competitive. Okay, everyone favourite,
Yeah.
Besides our game against Saints, seemed a little bit. Well, a couple of people said they've been saying they've been disappointed with it. Yeah, a bit disappointed with it. It wasn't more competitive. The games weren't as close as you would have hoped. I know there's nothing you can do. It's sport sometimes.
It's disappointing, though.
It is, especially for the people who go and you went to see some good rugby and you get a team like Cass who don't just turn up.
You're advertising it as magic.
Yeah.
Meant to be brilliant games, exciting games, and you have a blowout of 48 points to 6.
And there are some ones you can expect. I think, Leeds versus Bradford, a newly promoted side, Leeds in form going on top of the table. You can almost maybe expect that.
What was a better game to watch?
It's not the Leeds and Bradford of old, is it?
This or York Huddersfield was a bottom of the table clash.
The best game to watch out of all of them? I don't know. Probably Leeds and Bradford. Had a bit of spice. Bradford threatened a couple of times.
I did get why they got the first magic since Bradford had been back.
Yeah, you had to put Leeds against Bradford, but still, it was an easy victory for Leeds. I mean, if we're talking about these two games together, because they are easy wins for. So you can understand Bradford not putting in the performance down on Troops, the other promoted side, compared to Castleford not putting in the performance against an inferior team. Makes a bit less sense to me. I thought Leeds were good value. Like Leeds played really well, and Leeds are a good side, and they showed it. I thought it was pretty embarrassing the Sevo try because they just admitted they were trying to get in the record of 10 games in a row try because Hanley was in and passed it basically over the line to Sevo just so he could score and they could break the record. Bit embarrassing, but still they're in their record books now. They look good when they come left to right, Leeds. Ryan Hall went off with an injury.
It's a weird injury, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a weird injury indeed.
It'd be a bit of a concern. Bradford, they were game. It's more you can say for Cass.
He tried.
Yeah. They were game. They give them a decent goal in the first half. Ethan Ryan scored a nice try. 100 tries for Bradford for Ethan Ryan.
Nice.
Yeah. So he did a nice try there, but realistically, I think we all knew what the outcome was going to be for this game.
Yeah. Right, I think that wraps up the Magic Weekend.
Good stadium.
I was going to say, how was the Hill Dickinson?
Good stadium. High tech, complicated to get into.
All right.
A little bit like a spaceship. I was trying to get into a spaceship and I didn't have the launch codes.
Right, okay.
You have to go to your certain turnstile and all this sort of stuff. But the inside of it reminded me very much of a American stadium, one of the American stadiums I visited earlier this year. Big, wide open space.
Yeah.
Huge floor-to-ceiling windows to see a view of Liverpool. Condiment station, salt, pepper, straws for your drinks, stuff like that. That you don't necessarily see at a regular stadium because there's not that space.
Yeah.
Huge concourse, huge bar, and it was quick to get served. all day because there was so many tills and so many people behind the bar. One of whom I used to teach.
Nice.
That was good to get recognised. In my Wigan shirt, and so it's a great stadium. I really do like it. Hopefully I'll be back there next year. If we can get the Sunday game, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I do live in Liverpool now, and seeing the centre so full of rugby shirts,
Yeah. Nice.
I never ever see that before. Even though it's so close to rugby league teams like St Helens and Wigan League, it's a very rare sight.
Yeah.
But it was full of rugby league supporters of all different teams. I actually had a walk down from the city centre down along the water, which is a really nice walk anyway. There's been some serious regeneration in that part of Liverpool that stadium's brought. So even the surrounding areas, still not perfect, but a lot better than they were. For those people who don't know the city, that was an area that there was a bit of wasteland really. And now more and more things are sort of popping up there. So that's good.
That'll keep happening.
Definitely that'll keep happening. And stadium, fantastic. It looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Inside, it's so steep that I can imagine for an Everton game, they'll get some good noise.
Yeah.
Like if
That's
it was
how it was designed. Same with White Hart Lane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The wall and.
But when I went to somewhere like Ellen Road or St James's Park, I was a little bit disappointed. But I kind of got if this was a Leeds match or if this was a Spurs match, I reckon I'd be well in for it because the atmosphere would be so much better.
Yes,
Whereas here, you can still appreciate the fact that it's a high-tech, all-mod cons, brilliant stadium, and it's not one of those soulless balls because you can tell the atmosphere's trapped in, and it is noisy even with the amount of empty seats that were there. It was quite noisy, and it set the record, didn't it, for the most attendance. It's there again next year. I'd like to go again. It's definitely a place I would look at for future rugby league events. The only problem is getting out of there. Imagine if it was full for an Everton game, for example. If it was full, and maybe it was a derby, or maybe it was just a regular Premier League match, and it was a night game, maybe.
Well, the Ashes test that I went to was a nightmare for getting away.
Yeah, everyone has to go through a tiny little space. It wasn't the worst because it was about half full, and people were leaving at different times. And a lot of the Wigan supporters, we were still around for while the whole players were on the pitch, and so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I do think that could be a problem. I don't know if it is a problem for Everton. Maybe it is. I don't know, but that could be a problem. But I did really like my trip there. Really good stadium, and hopefully get the chance to go again because it was really cool.
Definitely. Right, we'll take a quick break there, and then we'll come back with some eye catchers. So obviously we've looked around the game. A couple of eye-catching things have happened in rugby league. I think the first one that's really caught a few comments from Magic is the Sam Powell ban.
Yeah,
I think it's 18 points. He's got 3 games for a hip drop on Tessie Niu. It's a bad one.
Well, it'll be escalated because Niu went off and is injured now.
But I don't know how they escalate it though, because it's the points, isn't it?
Yeah, but you get more points if the player has to go off injured and doesn't come back onto the game. That gives you more points.
Yeah, but he'll have got that already. He'll already been in yesterday's.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So 18 points. I think it's 18. He definitely misses 3 games.
Yeah.
It's a bad one, isn't it? It's a bad hip drop.
Yeah.
We got it wrong. I don't know what he was actually trying to.
Well, he was just trying to get him to the ground, I think, but he went about it completely the wrong way.
Looks like trying to get into the ground, steal the ball and use the ball to try and wrestle him down. And like you said, got it all completely wrong. And it was a bad one.
Deserves his ban.
Yeah, it was a bad one, unfortunately.
Darryl Clark's injured, as well as Tessie Niu.
Big loss for Saints. This.
He's only just come back, really. 8 weeks.
Yeah, big
ankle ligament. Not hurt at Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall, I actually read something about, and they're talking about how it's a weird injury. They've not really got a time frame on it, so they're going to have to wait and see how that develops over the next few weeks.
Sure.
you'd obviously like him to get back on the field soon. Is where I was going with that.
In terms of injuries for Wigan, we had Farriman out for 12 weeks with a hamstring.
Yeah.
We've got Nathan Lowe, who knows with that. In December we talked about with 4 weeks. We've already said about that one. Interestingly, Luke Thompson's been named in the squad for the upcoming game against Warrington. Interesting. We'll see whether he plays or not, but he's obviously meant to be out for a lot longer. He's missed one game.
To be completely honest with you, someone I know saw him in the gym, and he said he was hoping he could have played at Magic.
He was limping about something, wasn't he? Well, he wasn't.
That's what he talked about straight after his injury, that he was hoping he could play.
You'd hate to run into Luke Thompson at the gym. I mean, you'd like to run into Luke Thompson anytime just to meet him, but if he's at the gym, you got to turn around and walk up because he's not lifting as much as he is. You're lifting 1/10 of what he is.
I wouldn't bother him in the gym. I'd leave him to it.
Yeah.
No, but
I might disturb him doing a workout.
Yeah.
He mentioned on Monday that Thompson wanted to be back this week.
Brilliant.
Gives a little bit of strength in the pack and a little bit more depth to hopefully try and deal with a couple of the injury issues that we've got at the moment, and obviously try and get through the Walters ban.
That'd be good. We just need to make sure it's not a Clark situation and doesn't make it worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's fit and he's good to go, he's one of our better players.
Yeah.
So that will be good. Last week you sort of mentioned that Leeds were interested in Dylan Walker.
Yes.
Parramatta player. That's now confirmed.
Yeah, it was only late last week. Apparently Arthur confirmed they were interested.
It's an interesting sign. Because he's already come out and said that he was basically offering himself to the Bears for next to no money to stay in the NRL. It's not really what you want to hear, is it? But he's a very, very good player.
He's been a good one. Yeah, really good. And they needed somebody in that position, didn't they?
Yeah.
Cam Smith moving on. Palacia played proper at the weekend.
Plus, he's a prop. He's not 13, if we're honest. Yeah. So much so that they've even tried. O'Connor's played quite a few.
Yeah, they have.
Minutes a different game.
I was impressed with O'Connor. I mean, we've finished talking about Leeds now, but I was impressed with O'Connor. The role he played on Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, sorry.
Yeah.
And I suppose the last thing to talk about is Origin.
He decided this morning. We were recording
this was this morning, yeah. All the talk this week I've seen is when will when will Nathan Cleary grab an Origin decider by the scruff of the neck and win it for the Blues? And then he scored the first 2 tries.
Yeah.
Got man of the match and player of the series.
Yeah.
You know, I saw an interesting thing from this. Mitch Moses becomes the first Blues halfback to win 2 deciders at Suncorp.
What about Moses? What about, Cleary? Oh, was he in for Cleary, wasn't he, last time, wasn't he? Yeah.
Cleary didn't play the decider 2 years ago.
Interesting stat. Thank you for that. I would have guessed Joey Jones.
Yeah, I thought there'd been a few, but by the sounds of it, there was a couple of games where they'd already won the series and it decider and things like that.
It's always good to go to a decider. We're not particularly bothered who wins, but Blues or Maroons, we're not that bothered really. It was a good game. Yeah. This looks like it was a decent game. Not watched the full game back yet, but because it comes straight from work really. But yeah, it looked like there was a no try. Well, I know there was a no try because it's on the highlights that I've seen for Robert Toyer.
Yeah.
Where somebody was within 10 and he wasn't really. Well, he was kind of impacting play, but he wasn't really.
Well, the other big talking point from this one
was offside from the kick.
Was the Bradman best try, where they said that Jack Bostock didn't touch it and thus it's not a knock on. But there's a couple of angles where it looks like it does. And Cam Smith's got in hard on set.
Just so you don't think that it's just our country that has a problem with video refereeing.
Yeah. Every country's got it figured out until something goes wrong.
And like I said before, the ball steal, the obvious 2-on-1 ball steal that led to the Cameron Murray try, that was one play of the ball previously, so they couldn't challenge that either. Hammer did score.
He just scored breaking.
He's getting closer and closer to the record, isn't he? GI's record, I think I read this earlier this week. GI scored about 18 in 36 Origin games. Something like that. Now, he's tipped the Hammer to go past him. Hammer is currently on about 16 from 15 or something like that. Something
Right.
ridiculous like that. He's probably never played 15. Probably played 12 or something like that. He's ridiculous stats, Hammer. So he is flying towards GI's record. And I think I've been on this podcast before saying Hammer is my favourite player to watch in the NRL.
It's really interesting, isn't it? 'Cause I don't know what I would describe him as.
I just like he's such a balanced runner. I quite like he's such a strong but balanced runner.
If you were to say he was like someone, who would you say? Normally, like when you see a
Sam
great player, you
Tompkins.
go like, oh,
If it's somebody from Wigan, Sam Tompkins,
yeah,
but he's a bit quicker.
a bit quicker, a bit broader in the
Stronger.
shoulders.
Mm.
I mean, he doesn't really remind me of someone before.
he's an exciting player.
Jared Hayne, yeah. Jared Hayne.
Mm. Big win this though for
Oh,
New
yeah.
South Wales, and Laurie Daly really took a lot of criticism.
Yeah,
After-
Daly was fired up, wasn't
Yeah, I tell you what, I think he comes back to game one. We'll be looking at the Ponga red card and
Yeah.
that cost them game one because they blew him away in Melbourne.
he? Yeah,
Game
but
two.
they had the decider at Suncorp.
Mm.
What better chance are you going to have to decide? If you said at the start of the season to Billy Slater, Cameron Smith, Jonathan Thurston, you said you're going to have a decider at Suncorp. Take it or leave it. They'd snatch your hand off.
Yeah,
Like you're going in level to Suncorp. They go, yeah, definitely.
Mm.
You'd take that every year
Definitely.
before you start the first game. You'd take that every year,
definitely.
and they didn't get it done. Again,
Yeah, it's an interesting one, really.
Mm.
It's interesting to see, and I am liking the dynamic of the 18-man bench. Obviously, they carry Walsh on the bench.
The 6 players on the bench.
Yeah, sorry, the 6-man bench.
Yeah, Walsh
the
was
19
18.
player. He got on the field, so they didn't use the pack the way you would
Mm.
expect.
But they were chasing the game.
Chasing the game. I think all that is really interesting and adds to the game. I think that wraps it up, lads.
Yeah, been a fun one. Whenever you
Yeah.
beat them, it's a fun one to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what my favourite bit about this was? Did you see Wigan's post game?
Put the score on. Just said identity. Well,
Says enough.
you know, St Helens are interested in the loan market right now. They're seriously considering dipping into the loan market. Will we?
Yeah, that's what
Will we dip into the loan market?
like
No.
championship clubs doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it looks like Salford.
If it plays
And
like
it plays
Salford.
like Salford. And it sounds like Salford. They probably win as much as Salford.
Talking of Salford,
Yeah.
they're going to play their game
Oh, yeah?
before hours. On the 8th of August, I think it said. Friday the 8th of August.
Yeah. Why?
It's because of pitch renovations and they're not going to be done in time. So they made the call basically to move it to the brick rather than leave it to the last second and then mess people about.
So who's it against? Do you know? Remember?
Just obviously checked it was Swinton.
Local derby then?
Yeah, it was meant to be. So it's not Friday. Sorry, it's
Was it meant to be at Salford or Swinton?
meant to be at Salford.
Right.
They're going to kick off at 2 p.m. On the Saturday. We're kicking off at 5:30 against Toulouse on the Saturday, not Friday the 8th, Saturday the 8th.
Right, okay.
That'll be good to get, a double header in, and
Yeah.
it's always nice.
Yeah.
And now I think that wraps everything up. Matty, Lewis, great to have you both on.
No, thank you. Always a pleasure.
Do you know directions to the Brick Stadium? Not been there for a while. And I hear we've got a home game. Don't really know what that is.
Can't be a home game.
We've got a home game,
A home-
apparently. The last home game, I think, was before the Challenge Cup final. 2 weeks before the Challenge Cup final.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's got its pros and cons, hasn't it? Really, when you
Yeah.
think about that.
We've got a lot of home games left. Like, we haven't had many home Fridays.
No, I think we've got a couple coming up on the next.
Normally, when you go into the season, people are asking you about plans and stuff like that. You go, well, you're pretty safe bet that we're going to be playing on a Friday most weeks, and half the time you're going to be at home. But it's not been like that this year. A lot of Saturdays, a lot of Sundays. The odd Thursday.
Yeah. Well, Friday night this week.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got to get back at it.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week, hopefully, after another good performance.